Okay, so we're here in the studio, 98.5 KOYC FM radio. We're an LP station, pretty new in Pueblo, and we are excited about always seeing new talent here in Pueblo, and you're one of them. I'm here with Devon. Say your last name, Devon.
Devon Sants Stephen. I go by Devon Sants.
Devon Sants, okay. An amazing artist, I have to say. I've heard you now a couple times. I love your music, and I think you're very talented. So tell me when you started. When did you start getting into music?
Well, I really started getting into music. I've kind of always been into music, but I really started getting into it about 6th grade. I was just going through a lot at the time, and music was kind of just an outlet that helped me get through mainly a lot of different things. So I think that's when I really started to feel music as the way I do, because I don't just see it as something you hear, I see it as something that's around you. It's kind of like an element of its own design. It's something that goes through everybody. Yeah. And that's kind of when I realized that was in middle school, and it's just been the same way ever since.
Wow, and that seems to be a theme with kids that find music to help them through some life struggles too. They use music as a way, therapy maybe, or some way to just go into another zone. I don't know, but you write your own songs too. And where does your inspiration come from?
Life, everything. I've been writing songs since as long as I can remember. And they weren't always that great, but it was just something I just would do to pass the time or do to express an emotion, something I was feeling, if I was angry or sad or happy. I had to always kind of turn to music for that. Been writing really seriously just for the past couple of years. Something I've always been passionate about was just writing as a whole, and then incorporating that with music is just something I've always kind of done as well. But I used to just write poems and stories and stuff to just get things out, just ideas I had to write them down. And I don't know, that's kind of when I became a songwriter. I thought I want each song to tell a story or each song to mean something. And my goal is whenever I perform or do something, I want somebody to feel what I'm feeling in just the words and the way I wrote the song. That's kind of the whole reason I play music.
Mission accomplished. And I will be the first one to say, because it's very good, and you can feel it. I love your lyrics, and that's how songs start, with poems, really, that are put to music. How long have you lived in Pueblo?
Off and on, pretty much since the 3rd grade. I've lived in other places for a year or two here and there, but I've always kind of came back to Pueblo. Just kind of been my home. Since the 3rd grade.
Wow. And there's quite a music scene here, which I don't know that a lot of people realize, the talent that's here. You are around a lot of the talent. You do open mics. You see all of the different people that can sing or perform.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely a lot of talented people out there. Even some people my age are pretty talented out there. I think the problem with, and the reason I don't have like a band and it's just me, is a lot of people my age, they just like to play as more of a hobby, and they don't take it as seriously as other people or as seriously as they could, maybe because the people didn't believe in them, they don't believe in themselves, things like that. But I think there are some talented people, and if they could just strive to do their own thing, I think they could even be more talented than they are now.
Wow, because I've heard some powerhouse singers too, that would be great. Well, we're trying to promote young artists like yourself, and since you mentioned age, how old are you, Devon?
I'm 25. I just turned 25 in March.
Oh, well, happy birthday, belated. But I hope that you come here more often. I love when you come and I can hear you guys play. You're playing right now with James Raymond Smith, Jimmy Smith, and I put out a shout for more people to stop by. If they play different instruments, and I hope that's okay. But we're going to use Tuesday nights as a night for new talent maybe to come by and play their stuff and get some inspiration. Hopefully you can inspire some young people.
And if, to inspire young people, I'll just tell you what one of my favorite musicians told me, is just play from the heart. Don't be afraid to try something new and write your own material. Sometimes whatever you have to say, people want to hear it. And there's always that one person out there that's going to be your number one fan, and then it just kind of carries out from there. And that person was Justin Flestenfeld from Blue October. I basically reached out to him the first time I saw him live and told him I started playing music, and that's what he told me is just always play from your heart and play for people to hear, and don't be afraid to write your own material. So.
Good advice. Good advice. It's working. I think that's wonderful. Well, hopefully you'll inspire young people too, because we want to find all the talent and maybe even help kids find a guitar or a set of drums that will get them through life's challenges too. So there's not a lot of money made. You have to love music to find that, make it a profession. But good on you. So we're going to play some of your songs, a couple that you just did here, and drop by anytime. I'd love to see it. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to have an hour of radio time for you guys to put your stuff up, or songs that you like, or musicians that were inspirational. Did you have somebody that was more inspiration to you growing up that you listened to?
Yeah, so Blue October was a huge band. And in middle school I went through a lot of different things, and had to deal with thoughts of suicide and things like that. That was kind of sad. And I went to this suicide prevention convention, and Blue October hosted it. And the lead singer, Justin, he just kind of touched me in a way with music that I never realized was possible. And ever since then, everything's been kind of a game changer. But the other three, I guess would be three biggest influences I have would be Marcus Mumford from Mumford & Sons. That guy just he plays his heart into everything he does. And Dave Grohl, because the guy's just awesome, plays with everybody. He's just rocking out all the time. And then Jack White, he's got his own style. It's unique. Those are just kind of the four main guys that I kind of like, and getting into other different bands and stuff. But those four guys right there kind of set the standard. So it's a pretty big standard to try to get to. So when I try to play, I try to make it me. I try to do different things that are outside the box lyrically. But that's really it.
Great stuff. And I'm glad you brought up suicide. We've had 5 young people commit suicide this year in Pueblo, which is sad to me. So if we can reach out to someone who thinks that life is just too much to bear and can take, I always say, if you're ready to end everything, then why not just free reign and do whatever you want, and who cares? So maybe this will touch someone who will be inspired by you.
Yeah, and I dealt with suicide a lot through over the years. Just thoughts of being sad and stuff. Kind of had a different upbringing than most. And one thing I can always say is, for when I really got down and really wanted to do something, I think that's when you just need to try to hit the reset button and just do something else. Yeah, you don't need to go away. You don't need to not be a part of what's going on. Maybe just hit the reset button and just become whoever you want to become. Sometimes we get wrapped up in who we are and who people see us as, but you just need to be the person you want to be, and always be that person. There's this song growing up I liked a lot. It's by a band called Reliant K, and the song is called "Who I Am Hates Who I've Been," and that's just always stuck with me because we've all done things that we're not proud of, and myself included. And I always kind of think of, man, this person that I once was, or I saw myself as, I don't like that person, so I want to be better than that person. So I always strive to be better and better, and that's just kind of got me from there to here, and that's what's worked for me.
Maybe you can find that song for us, and if it's on BMI, we can play it. That would be great.
Yeah, I'll play it.
Okay, thanks, Devon. Great job, and keep up the good work. I look forward to hearing all the stuff that you write in future. It's great. Okay, we'll be playing some of Devon's music right now. Stay tuned.